Because in the kingdom, if your name was never the one in lights, if you weren't the pastor of the church, would you still be faithful?
We talk about being in alignment with our pastors all the time. Are you in alignment with your spouse?
If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself daily and follow me.
I've got to do ministry in a different way. I don't want to perform for him. I want to partner with him.
Leading Second Camp 2025 for church leaders and team members who lead from the middle. February 26th and 27th in Dallas, Texas. To find out more and to register, go to leadingsecondcamp.com. Welcome to the Leading Second Podcast, a space to help church leaders thrive in the second chair. The Leading Second Podcast releases every Thursday morning, so hit subscribe and share this with your team. Now let's jump into another episode for all of us who lead from the middle.
Leading Second, welcome back to what is one of our final episodes of Season 7 of the Leading Second podcast. My name is Brandon Stewart. We're so excited and honored to have you in this space. We've created this podcast and this ministry for all of us who lead from the middle. So if you serve in the second chair in any capacity, welcome home. And hey, I've got some of the best with me right from the jump today. I want you to help me welcome, first of all, admit there's no greater friend to Leading Second than Pastor Larry Brey from Elevation Church. Say what's up to everybody. LB.
How we doing, my friend?
Welcome back. We have put you to work this year on the podcast.
I've loved it. You know, this isn't work hanging out with you. I mean, and I've never got a chance to meet the other guests you have for today. I'm a little giddy because I get to play in the sandbox with Dr. Manny. I mean, like
Dr. Manny Arango.
Honor
I
is
feel like I won the
all
lottery.
I'm on a podcast with the legend, the one and only LB.
That's right. You know, it was so funny. LB was coming to Team Church Conference just to hang. Arma team was there, part of the event, and he lands, and our team was like, "Man, we found out Dr. Manny's coming. Do you want to interview him?" And I was like, "Nah, just let him hang, let him chill." I don't think his wheels were on the ground, at SeaTac. I said hello, and he said the first response was, "Want a podcast?" So apparently you're just the junkie, and we're just going to put you more to work today. So welcome back, my friend. Glad you're here.
Hey, man, some people like to talk. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to talk. I'm not even going to hide. Well, hey, look, listen, I like to talk.
You've got something to say. You are our doctor. And so we welcome you back. And I particularly wanted the two of you, first of all, to meet because you're two of my favorite people. So you might as well know each other. But then also we are so excited because Leading Second Camp 2025 is coming up at the end of February. And with Lindsay, this is our speaking team. Like we're holding down the fort. So are you guys ready? Are you excited for that event?
I am absolutely pumped. Been looking forward to this for a long time.
Hey, we might not have much of a lineup that could play a basketball game because I don't think any of us are real tall.
But I'm 5'5.5".
Hey, I'm 5'7", standing on something. So
I'm tall, but I'm stunted. So
hey, but we might be lacking in the physical. We're going to make up for it in these other spaces.
Absolutely,
that's right.
Look, I like to talk. I like to talk.
I talk in my sleep, my wife says. So
I can trash talk while playing basketball really good, like incredibly well.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so you each have 30 seconds. We'll start with you, Doctor. Why are you excited for Leading Second Camp, a gathering of second chair leaders?
When does the clock start?
Right now.
Okay. I think number one, I'm excited to hang out with you guys. Number two, I think that the people that you do community with, life with, you become like those people. So I think that being around, proximity does have value. So if you're gonna be great, you got to get around some great people. Yeah. The other reason I'm really excited is because the majority, I would dare say 90% of people who are employed by church are not the senior pastor.
Yep.
And that means that events like this, there's so many events for senior leaders.
There's
so many events for people who are senior pastors, and we need those. That's important.
Yes.
But the reality is that you're only reaching 10%, right? So the majority of people are leading from the middle. That's the majority of people. And I think that here's, just a good old Bible verse. I think the Bible's great. The parts of the body that aren't visible actually have more impact on the parts that are visible, right?
There it is.
So I love my hands, love my face. I really do love my face. You know what I'm saying? But if my kidneys aren't working, or my liver or my heart, we're going to have some serious problems. And oftentimes, I think leading from the second chair or leading from the middle means that you are a part of the body that may not be as visible, but man, you are vitally important. So let's pour into some leaders who have a massive part of that.
I'm signing up right now.
Come on,
good.
Dude.
Very
you
good.
can be a person in the conference and speaking at the conference.
I'm getting a front row ticket. Brandon, to your question, I know what it's like to sit in that second chair, and sometimes you sit in that space and it gets a little quiet. And when you start believing the silence. And so for me, when Dr. Manny, he mentioned that, like, getting around some like-minded individuals, when you find a tribe that can give language to what your heart has always carried, man, it changes the game. But when you create a camp, a rhythm of remembering, I think for me, doing ministry, this is our 19th year since we started Elevation. I've just come to realize this, like, if people in ministry, that when the devil wants to attack our motivation, he gets us to forfeit our memory. And when we sit in a space and we wonder, now, why did I do this? Now, why did I take this job? Now, why did I want to sit in the second seat? But when we can get to a space to remember why we got in that thing, that's what I'm really excited about camp. Is I don't think we're going to tell anybody anything new, but I think we are going to help them remember what God has said all along.
So good.
And that's what I get really excited about, because when you're holding on in solo, you just don't have the strength for the endurance to run the race marked out before you. But when you get to a space like camp, like leading second camp, man, you'll be reminded of why you got in that thing to start with.
Well, we're so excited. Of course, this is a 2-day conference style event. We call it camp because I'm not sure why we ever stopped going to youth camp. And I feel like leaders need refreshing. Leaders need encouragement. You're going to learn some things, but I think you're going to receive a whole lot more. So if you're listening today, shameless commercial, leadingsecondcamp.com. Join us in Dallas, February 26, 27. It's going to be a special time, and we are excited for that event. Okay, so for today, we are landing the plane on my research project this year, Inside the Second Chair. I've got two of the best. Now listen, you both know how to talk. You know how to share. You are on the clock today, though. We are going short answers, lightning round from the jump. I have no clue how far we're going to get through this, but we're just going to go. And I'd actually love to start with some bios today. I know you both are known to our tribe, but I think, journey matters here. And so, Manny, let's start with you. You are a second chair leader, which I have to say, clock is ticking on this one because you have just announced you are planting a brand new church, which we are so excited about in Houston. Tell us a bit about that before we
let's go.
Planting a church in Houston, Texas, called The Garden. We're super excited about it. I feel like I'm skydiving a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But the airplane's already up. I just got to jump out. So we're just praying that the parachute works. So nervous, scared, excited. Every time I meet somebody from Houston, it makes my day. So
I know.
Yes. So my days in the second chair
are numbered.
Are numbered.
Well, and we're pulling on some great experience. So just give us the brief bio of your journey in the second chair really fast. Just
oh my gosh. I've been on staff at 3 different churches. Obviously, I was never the senior pastor at any of those churches. Youth and young adults pastor in Boston, Massachusetts, and then again youth and young adults, but also on the executive team, an amazing church in North Carolina, in the Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina. And then I moved to Dallas, Texas, and became part of the teaching team at Social Dallas. And so, I have been in the 4th chair, 5th chair, 2nd chair. I've been in all kinds of chairs. And all of those have nuance, right? Like at social, I'm not necessarily the second chair in terms of the org chart, but in terms of communication and like influence, there's a lot of that, right? So knowing, I remember the first time Pastor Robert called me and was like, take that off your Instagram account right now. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't represent me. Like I represent—
You are under authority.
I represent an entire ministry that I'm not the face of. And
very good.
I was like, yes, sir. It is gone. What post are you even talking about? I don't even know what post you're talking about. And
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So yeah, that's my bio.
Very good. LB, so you said 19 years.
Yeah, we'll be celebrating 19 years of ministry here at Elevation coming up in a couple months. So, yeah, my background though, you mentioned like kids going to youth camp. I never went to youth camp. I was the kid. You know how they said, you hanging out with the wrong crowd. I was the wrong crowd.
You were the wrong crowd.
That's hard to believe, LB. That's hard to believe, LB.
I was that guy. So I never went to youth camp. I didn't own a Bible till I was 27. I mean, we would go to Holy Days of Obligation growing up in our religion that we had as a kid, but faith was never a part of the journey, but I always had this kind of like hunger for it. My background's in PT sports medicine. I taught college for 5 years. I was a program director of a sports medicine major of a college in North Carolina. Left that, came on staff working at a local church in Shelby, North Carolina. Worked there for 5 years. That's where I got connected with Pastor Stephen. We hired him to be the worship leader at the church I was at. That's how we got connected. Wow. And as soon as I saw him, I'm like, that's the church that God's called me to be a part of. So we sold our homes and quit our jobs and cashed in our stocks, our bonds, our savings. And, where Pastor, Manny's sitting today, that's where we were, 20 years ago, saying, Lord, if this doesn't work, we look stupid.
Wow.
So, Lord, you either get all the glory or we look dumb. I'm glad he got all the glory. And so, yeah, now 19 years later, I've had, 17 different job titles in this ministry. But I've always kind of carried that spirit of sitting in the second chair and say, yes, sir, whatever God puts in your heart, I'll make it happen. And so
is 17 an hyperbole or is that for real?
Those are for real. Like those are different job titles. I mean, which started as assimilation, connections, and groups pastor and ministries pastor.
You've had a couple campuses along the way.
Oh,
anytime you see me like go over here, I'm taking notes. So this is my list. It says Leading Second Podcast. I am taking notes. So I've already started just like, oh, wow. All right. 17
roles.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Someone who won't quit after 17 changes is what we're looking for on the team.
No.
That's what we need on the team. Flexible.
Come on.
Yes.
Okay.
And to that end, though, let me give you, so Pastor Manny, Dr. Manny, I want to make sure I'm referencing
Pastor
you.
Manny's
right?
fine, please. The ink still wet on my degree, I promise.
So when I heard that Pastor Steve was getting ready to start the thing, I went to him and I said, hey, I'm coming with. And he kind of laughed at me. And he said, you are. I said, one, he said, it's bad grammar. You don't end with a preposition. But he said, two, he said, if you're coming, you need to sell your house, quit your job, move to an unnamed city, unnamed part of the country, part of an unnamed church. You'll never get a paycheck. You'll never be on staff. You're never going to get a dime. He said, the vision you commit to is the vision you serve. And if I dangle low-hanging fruit in front of you, you'll walk away when it doesn't work out like you thought it would. I'm so glad he had a high sacrifice, because everybody wants a high calling with a low sacrifice.
Yep.
And so I think the thing that kept me coming back all these years sitting in that second seat is it was a leader who was willing to say, it's going to take a sacrifice. And he's always helped me to learn how to bring a new sacrifice. And so I think for sitting in that second seat, when I think back about like all those 17 roles, I think it's because up front, I committed to a high sacrifice. So
something special that's coming up for the Leading Second family is Leading Second Camp. And there's a couple of announcements I wanted to share with you about our 2-day conference for church leaders and teams that's coming up, is that there's going to be a price jump. Our super early bird pricing is going to end at midnight, December 11th. So if you want to lock in your registration at the lowest price, do so before December 11th at midnight. And if you're planning to bring a large group, a lot of team members, a lot of volunteers to Leading Second Camp, we are offering a large group discount. It's very significant. So if you are bringing a group of 30 or more, I would encourage you to look into that. To register and find additional information about camp, you can go to leadingsecondcamp.com for more.
I want to hear from both of you what we're talking inside the second chair, how you approach life, how you approach your day, how you approach thinking in the second chair. So let's start really easy. What's the first thing you do each morning and why? Let's go Dr. Manny first.
First thing I do each morning.
Yes.
After I go to the bathroom?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. We just started, a year ago, we committed to making a 20-minute video helping people to go to the Bible every single day. And so we've recorded 212 episodes of that. And so first thing I do every morning is I go to the Armor Bible reading plan and I read and jot down notes. I write down a context clue, a nerdy nugget, and a timeless truth for that passage of scripture every day. I do it every single day.
Beautiful. How long does that take you?
45 minutes.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful. I love it. LB?
That was awesome. Man, mine is not going to sound quite as spiritual as Dr. Manny.
It's okay. Our last guest said the first thing he did every morning was unplug his sleep apnea machine. So I think you're
there's no right or wrong answer.
No right or wrong answer.
So my app is I can set my alarm clock. It's an app. So I set it to play a worship song every morning. So I wake up to a worship song. I will lay in bed and I will listen to that worship song before I get out of bed. And then I'll chug a bottle of water.
Great. I need to drink more water. I do need to chug a bottle. Do you have a fridge in your bedroom?
I set a grape Propel by my bed the night before. So it's sitting there as soon as I wake up.
But I'm saying it's lukewarm. It's lukewarm
room
when
temperature.
It's room temperature. Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah.
They say you're supposed to like wait a while to have coffee. Hydrate first.
I'm failing. I ingest coffee, but this is tea. I'm drinking tea right now. So praise God.
Wonderful. Okay. Let me ask you, LB, let's go to the next question. What is the best rhythm or habit that you have right now in your life that is serving you well?
At the end of the day, my kids hate this, but I love it. We will always go top 3, bottom 3 from the day. So when we sit down, we have purpose as a family. We will have 5 of the 7 nights a week. We will have dinner together at the dinner table.
Yeah, very good.
And we will always have, all right, guys, top 3, bottom 3. And it's a rhythm that for me, as I'm preparing for that, I'm learning the art of granular gratitude. And I'm trying to teach my kids the discipline of granular gratitude, because I can get really granular with feedback, criticism, whatever you want to call that. And but usually I'll play like, hey, you're great at this, but you do these 17 things better. And rather than be like, I'm grateful for my kids, like, hey, I'm grateful that my daughter Daylin this morning, when we got in the car and I drove her to school, we were listening to a song and I heard her chuckle. And I love my 16-year-old, her laugh. It makes me smile. And so tonight when we get home for dinner, I'm going to say one of the things I'm grateful for today is my daughter, Daylin, when we drove to school this morning, hearing her giggle. So I'm trying to get in the rhythm of granular gratitude with my kids by kind of doing it myself.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Beautiful. Manny.
Yeah, I want to be one of your kids. Okay, sorry. Dang it. I forgot I even had a turn. I'm legitimately like, I need to drink water in the morning. I need LB to adopt me, bro. Do you got room for a black son? Like, who doesn't need one of those? A 37-year-old black son.
Absolutely. You know? I sent one son off to college, so we got an open bed. Come on, dude. Oof.
I don't know about moving back to North Carolina, but God's called me to Houston, Texas. I got to stay focused.
The Garden.
Tell my whole launch team, hey guys, sorry. I'm sorry you've moved here. I'm sorry for the high sacrifice you've paid for this calling. But I gotta go be with LB, man. I'm moving
That's
into his
funny.
house. Okay, what was the question,
Best
Dr. Brandon?
Ooh, not quite. Not quite. Best
In faith.
My goodness. Best rhythm or habit that you have in your life right now.
Brushing my teeth. Man, dude, I got this electric toothbrush. I switched a couple years ago from a manual toothbrush to an electric toothbrush. My dentist made me switch. Best switch I've ever made. And really, so I just bought this thing called Flouse, Flaus. I'm really trying to get in the rhythm because flossing is, oral hygiene is really important. And that's my thing right now. So liquid IV is also helping me to drink more water. So I don't really like the taste of water, but then I heard there's sugar in the liquid IV. So, I'm
I got
stressed.
one for you. I'll tell you in just a minute. I got Element. You need to try Element. It's no sugar.
It's better than liquid IV.
Better. Promise you.
It tastes better. It tastes better.
Tastes better. Promise you. I drink one.
Do I have to buy it from a pyramid scheme company?
But if you sign up 5 people under you, no, I'm joking.
Then yours is free.
Then yours is free.
Dude, do you have people at the church who are really believe in their multi-level marketing thing and they're trying to recruit other people at the church? I've been in that a couple times, man. I've had to shut it down.
If that's your passion and your calling in life, the Garden in Houston, Texas is looking for you to join the team.
If you want to do
multi-level marketing.
The Garden.
Yeah. Come on. I'm starting a church in Chattanooga, Tennessee, everybody. You can meet me there. We're going to start a church called The Farm. It's going to be fantastic.
We're doing awful today. We're never getting through this.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, you're up now. Professed Bible nerd. Tell me this. Here's my next question. What is a key verse or wisdom thought that you would want to share with a leader to help them navigate life under authority? So as leaders in the middle, we have to become acquainted with life under authority. So imagine you're sitting, you're coaching, you're having coffee with somebody. Yep. What's a key verse or a thought of wisdom for someone navigating life under authority?
Okay. The first thing that two come to mind immediately. Okay. The first one that probably comes to everybody's mind is the centurion. He's got great faith. Okay. Yep. And the thing that he says is, I'm a man under authority, therefore I have authority, which means it's not really the faith the faith is the fruit of the authority that he's sitting under. So anytime I feel like I'm struggling with my faith, I need to ask an authority question, not a faith question.
Come on.
So I think that the seasons of my life where I've experienced the most boldness, the most faith, is because, I'm submitted. So even with this new church plant, right? I was at a social Dallas staff meeting, minding my business. It's actually the meeting where we came up with our Govs Dallas billboards and website. And Pastor Robert texted me and was like, hey, meet me in my office after the meeting. I go into his office after the meeting and he goes, hey man, the Holy Spirit clearly said to me today when we were at the table that you needed to start a church, that you're a senior pastor. And I immediately was like, dang it. Cause I've spent 5 years on the road as an itinerant speaker. And when I met my wife, when I was 20, she was 19, I told her one day I'm going to start a church. And then it's become really convenient and easy not to do that. It's not like I haven't had a job. I've had amazing things to do. And so I've been scared to start a church until my pastor calls me in the office and says, there's something on your life. You need to start a church. You need to be a senior pastor. What about Houston? Are you going to move? And so I have the most confidence when I'm under authority. There's this really cool experiment with if you just put kids in a field, they'll stay really close to their parents. They won't really wander off that far. But if you put a fence there, they'll wander all the way to the fence. And I think that, at the end of the day, authority is like that fence. I'm actually more free when I'm under authority. So the verse that really comes to mind, I can't remember exactly where it is. It's in the book of Acts. And it says this, that the Holy Spirit said to the church, separate for us Paul and Barnabas for missionary service.
Yeah.
And I think in today's world, instead of the Holy Spirit saying to the church, hey, can we do something with Paul and Barnabas? We've got a lot of Pauls and Barnabases hearing from the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
And then telling the church, hey, y'all don't believe in my vision. Y'all not getting behind what I'm doing. And honestly, the thing that has blessed my life, I was itinerant while I was still living in North Carolina. And I stayed in North Carolina for an extra 2 years until my pastor released me and said, I'm cool with you moving to Dallas.
Wow.
And I did it slowly over time. So I came off salary first, but I still lived in North Carolina. And then I was doing announcements and doing random stuff at the church. I just walked with him to get him to the place where he was comfortable with me moving to Dallas. And I just think God will repay any years that you feel like you spent somewhere. And so that's helped me as a leader.
That is actually, I think, the point that gets missed is God repays. I truly believe that God repays for any time you feel in the natural has been lost because you submitted to godly authority. In fact, you know what? I almost made this episode. I was just thinking of the two of you. I almost thought about talking about, and maybe we'll just have to come back and do it. Almost thought about talking about how to navigate a personal dream while being under authority. Because I was thinking about you, LB. LB, you represent your church all over the world, all over the nation. God uses you in the capacity of Larry Brey, and yet you've been able to do that while staying incredibly submitted and planted in your house. Manny, I know you're on your way to planting your own church, but watching how you've done that under authority and honoring authority, even for Lindsay and I leading second, it's all tucked under our pastor. We wouldn't do one thing without their knowledge, their blessing. So I just think there's something there, and take it from three men who I think we would all say we sense God using us in that capacity. It comes from the blessing of being under authority there. I love the way you said it. There is so much freedom in it.
Yes.
There's so much life in it. So,
and the trick of the enemy is to get you to want independence versus freedom.
Yes.
Because they're not the same thing. And a lot of times we think that independence and freedom are synonymous terms, but they're not synonymous terms. So we have to begin to define freedom the way that God defines freedom. And freedom is not just I'm independent to do whatever I want, whenever I want. Actually, real freedom means that I'm submitted. I'm submitted to the Lord. And therefore, since I'm submitted to the Lord, I'm submitted to the leaders that the Lord has placed in my life. And that is real freedom. And can I maybe even preface by saying, part of it starts with having a great pastor. Like the reason that I'm able to do what I do is because Pastor Robert is not narcissistic. He's not controlling. He's not manipulative. And I do want to acknowledge there are people out there with pastors that just seriously, it's not been my experience, but are toxic. And I get that. My challenge, I know this is going to be uncomfortable, is I think that we do have to start to ask of ourselves, what is it about me that was even drawn to that toxicity in the first place? And so, but you get to pick, you get to choose. Like at some point you're in Shelby, North Carolina, and you, LB, make the decision, I'm going to follow this man. Not just because he's gifted, but I'm going to follow this man because he's got integrity, he's got character, the hand of the Lord is on his life. And I do think that when you follow great leaders challenge you. Great leaders require more of you. So I do think it starts with you. If you choose to follow bad leaders, then you're gonna be stunted and stifled. But then that goes right back to you. Like, well, why did you choose to follow bad leadership? And I know that may be uncomfortable, and I'm sorry. And if I'm making a mess, y'all can clean it up.
Well, I think we can come back and talk about that on an upcoming episode. I love what you're saying. LB, you were going to say something.
Well, I love the idea of like church planning through the idea of the Holy Spirit said set apart. Yeah. Paul and Barnabas versus Paul and Barnabas just kind of walking through. I think this would be a great idea. You give so much context for people who aren't submitted to the house that are wanting to go build their own thing.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so there's so much, I think, freedom. I love the word freedom. I love how you broke that down.
Freedom
Independence
versus
freedom
independence. Wow.
Yeah, that is so good.
Very
Dang,
good.
I'm ripping that off. I'll give you credit.
Well, I'm gonna take the high calling, low sacrifice. So there we go. We're even. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it even, and then none of us, we don't have to give credit to the other person. We just keep it even.
Whoever prints it first gets to put their name by it. So the race is on.
But even when you talk about submitting to authority, you know, when you say you're under your leader, like it's one thing to feel like it's one thing to feel like I'm being promoted. It's another thing to feel like I'm being developed.
Dang.
Because development doesn't require forward or backward progress, because it can happen in both.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But when we get in a promotion-driven society, anything that we think is backwards is contrary. And so some of the greatest blessings Pastor Stephen gave me is when he chastened me.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a really personal example. One of the best gifts Pastor gave me. I've had 17 titles we talked about. Some I chose and some were chosen for me.
Yeah.
And one of those early on, it was probably year 2 of the ministry. I'm like a GCD, get crap done times 100. Like, I'm going to run you over. We're going to get it done. It's such a strength, but then when it isn't developed, it becomes a liability.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so as our church was growing, that what was a strength started to become a liability. And Pastor had to look at me and say, that's now a liability. And if you don't change, you're no longer in that role.
Dang.
Ooh, that was painful. But he chastened me and he was developing me, but he had to have me take a step back so that I could develop into a better version of me.
That's incredible.
And to trust somebody enough to let them speak into that. So as I'm praying for you, you know, Manny, I'm praying for that team, that you don't need them, but they need you.
Wow.
That healthy space that says, I can only have one pastor in my life, but my pastor's job is to develop me, not promote me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good. Very good. Okay, let me ask you guys this question. I love this question, so now I'm really interested what each of you would say. LB, I'm going to come to you first. What do you hope your pastor or leader, many people here, their direct person they follow may not be the senior pastor, but what do you hope your pastor would say about you? So Jesus looked at his followers and said, you know, what do they say about me? What do you say about me? I think that people are having an experience with us. And I think many of us walk through life without a lot of self-awareness as to the experience that other people are having with us and what people would say about the imprint we leave on them. So if your pastor, LB, were to say something and assess you, what would you hope your pastor would say about you?
Well, and what my pastor's done, he's already given me the answer to that.
Okay.
And let me undergird it with this. One of the greatest gifts Pastor Stephen's given me is belief, that he believes in me as a person. Mm-hmm. When I have that, like Manny was saying, like that makes me feel like I can do anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I remember once I asked pastors, like, Pastor, thank you for seeing my potential. And we talk so much about potential in the kingdom. And he was really funny. He looked at me and says, I didn't pick you because of your potential.
Wow.
He said, I picked you because of your patterns. He said, what I saw was when the church we were at before we started this in Shelby, North Carolina, he said, well, I remember with the pastor that I was serving there, he wanted to build something. I had my pickup truck at Lowe's that afternoon getting a load of lumber, and I was moving. And what Pastor Stephen did for me, he said, here are the patterns that made me realize I could build on you.
Dang.
So I would want him to say, he has the patterns that I could build on.
Very good.
Dang.
Very good.
There's no chance of saying anything better than that. There's no chance.
Well, I ripped off my pastor.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not about to top that. I'll give my answer.
No, you're up. You're up. It's you. It's your turn.
Okay. That I under promised and over delivered.
Solid.
In my own ministry journey, I just feel like there's a lot of people who it's like day one, they're like, I'm with you forever. And it's like,
yeah. So where does that come from?
And they under deliver.
Yeah. So tell me why that matters to you.
Because talk is cheap. Like it doesn't matter. I don't want to be someone who hypes my own self up.
Yeah.
I want to be someone who, like, I don't know, I can get crap done. Like, and I want to exceed expectations. And I also would hope, and I think I'm quoting PR well. I would hope that he would say, it's been Manny's added more than he subtracted.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
I think we all require something.
Very
we
good.
require time. We require development. We require wisdom. We like.
Sure.
He's helped me be a better husband. He's helped me in my life. Yeah, but I hope it's like, hey, I hope that I added more value than I hope that I deposited more than I withdrew.
Very good.
Like,
That's
that
great.
would be everything.
I'll take it. Rock solid. Rock solid. Okay, so let's maybe talk about leading laterally for a second. If you're on a church team, you're not just leading up and you're not just leading those who, serve on your team in some capacity. You're leading laterally. You're on an executive team or you're on a director's team of some kind. So the question, Manny, I'm going to start with you. When you have a disagreement or a difference of opinion with a leader, a fellow team member, someone you're laboring alongside, my question is, what do you tell yourself to keep alignment while you're working through the issue? Like, what do you tell yourself when, there's tension there?
Okay, one phrase. I've never worked with me. That one phrase helps me. And we can put it in multiple contexts to help. I've never been married to me. I've never heard me preach. I've never worked with me. I don't know what it's like to work with me. So that immediately helps me to go, let me default to, I could be the problem here.
That's great.
Very good.
And
very good.
Like, I remember I was preaching at a church one time and this kid came out and he said, he's like, I don't agree with everything you said. And I said, me neither, bro. Me neither, man. And he didn't know what to do. Like, he was ready for an argument. And I think there's a way to diffuse tension. I could totally be the problem here. And can we just let's start the conversation there.
Yeah.
Also, food does not hurt. So if there's a tense relationship, be like, hey, let's grab lunch. Let's go to a meal. Because can I speak from just experience, where it's like, yo, we're in a team meeting and there's clearly tension and there's like 8 other people around a conference table and we're trying to hash out our tension. What's better is, yo, let's grab lunch after this. Not even, hey, let's just talk offline. Let's grab lunch. Because that communicates to the whole team, oh, they're cool. Like, they're okay. They're grabbing lunch. Not, let's go have this intense dialogue away from everybody.
I've always thought the goal to be able to grab lunch afterwards, even after a tough moment, was a great goal, because you're committed in that moment, if at all possible, to keep it about the issue, not make it about the person. We're all going to experience tension, but if it can just stay productive and just stay, I'm with you. I'm good with you. I love you. We just have something we've got to work through here. I think I've always made that the goal in the back of my mind. That's very well said, Manny. Okay, LB, I'm coming to you. Give us your answer. What do you tell yourself to keep alignment?
Yeah, well, I think one of the hardest things to build, like at a peer-to-peer level, because I think peer-to-peer is the hardest form of accountability.
That's real.
Relation or positional authority is easy to lead from. Relational equity is really, it's harder. But I think what happens a lot of times in the kingdom is we'll have the right word, but we'll have the wrong definition. So in teams, we want to have candor. We got the right word, but the definition is we just turn a circular firing squad and we shoot each other. And I've sat in teams where everybody's just kind of shooting each other. I'm like, this is horrible. Like, not only do we want to not be in the same room together, we would never go into lunch after we get done with this thing.
Right.
I think a better definition of candor is to build a relationship. Says, let me start with me. Let me assume it's me. Let me tell you my problem.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where I have a struggle, rather than being quick to point it out. And the other thing I would say to that is, I think sometimes you can be more obsessed with the result than the relationship.
That is so good.
For those listening to that the result matters more than the relationship. You can be completely right in the answer. Me, completely right with the answer, but completely wrong with the approach, because we have not love and we're a gong and a clanging cymbal. And so I think that's just, the relationship has got to matter more than the result.
You know, I just asked someone on a coaching call yesterday. I just asked them, do you want to be right or do you want to win as a team here? Because sometimes you just got to lay it down. Sometimes you just have to value the relationship here.
Yep.
So well said, my friends. Okay, we're going to start landing the plane here, and I'm going to ask you my two final questions, lightning round. Here we go. If you were to look back on a day, you're in the second chair, you're serving on your church team. If you were to look back on a day and call it a success, what is the most important thing you did as a second chair leader that day? Dr. Manny?
I said what I think Pastor Robert would have wanted me to say, instead of saying what was in my head. I was able to apply the Pastor Robert filter.
You presenced him in a room he wasn't in.
Yes.
That's great.
Very good. Very
and
good.
what I didn't know is that his parents were in the room. They were in the back of the room. His mom and dad were in the room, and I actually didn't see them. I didn't know they were there. And so he heard about it afterwards. And somebody asked a question, and I just intentionally answered the way that I know he would want.
Excellent.
Very good.
Answered.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that answer. I think for me, the healthiest version of me, healthy to me, I define it this way: is all of me is in this moment. And so for me, a success is to make people feel seen and known. Because an unhealthy version of me treats them like a to-do list, and I'm just on ... Where the healthiest version of me is like, hey, no matter whether it's a fun or a more fruitful conversation, they really feel like LB made me feel seen and known. And if I can do that, I won that day.
Well done. Well done. Okay, last question. Let's see. I'll go Dr. Manny first. Just
thank you for asking him first, by the way. I appreciate that. It gives me a little second to think about it.
You're welcome.
You did it the opposite way like 4 or 5 questions ago, and he answered. I was like, I don't have anything better than that. Anyway.
Well, this is your final words on the Leading Second podcast as a second chair leader. These matter, Dr. Manny. Come on. How would you define success in leading from the second chair? How would you define success in leading from the second chair?
Oh boy. No, go LB first. Come back to me. How would I define success? Oh boy. I don't know. Okay, go to LB.
So in Numbers, Moses is at this point that he's done. He's over himself. Like, if this is how it's going to be, God, kill me, take me out. And God says, pick 70 elders known to be leaders official, bring them to the tent of the meeting. I'll take the spirit I put on you and I'll put it on them. And there's something about carrying the spirit of the house when you multiply, when you grow, that I feel like success in being in that second chair is realizing God has put me in that space for a spiritual transfer. The spirit that was placed on our house, on our pastor. And my job is to get everybody else walking in that spirit, to take of that spirit on Pastor Stephen and help people walk in that spirit, to carry that spirit of our house. I feel like now we're multiplying the original DNA, the genetic sequence of our house. And when we multiply from that space, like, that's my job. I feel like I take that very, very personal in the organization. Like, whatever's multiplied, whatever grows from it, it's either my fault or I help pass on the right thing.
There's no chance I'm giving a better answer.
Multiplying the genetic sequence of the house.
That's incredible.
That's so good.
That's incredible, sir. Can you teach a doctoral program on leadership? That's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, success. This may feel a little bit more personal than organizational.
Go for it.
To not lose sight of who my pastor is because of who he isn't.
Oh, good.
I think a lot of times, like resentment or bitterness or whatever, stems from who someone isn't.
Come on.
It's not necessarily who they are. And what happens, at least for me, a lot of times is I have to ask myself the question, have I allowed who this person isn't to actually overshadow who they are?
So good.
Wow.
And so with any leader that's ever led me, success for me is I continue to really love and honor who you are, despite how I'm perceiving who you're not.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's good. That's
really
preach.
Good. I just
Praise God.
I love you guys.
But that's a little bit more personal than like organizational.
No,
that's organizational though. That's legit.
Come on, it got the LB stamp of approval.
You got the sticker. Well, listen,
because that's where bitterness is built up, is in that space of unexpressed expectations, unmet expectations.
Yeah.
I thought they would.
Well, and I think that's why we created this space, as LB encouraged me early on. We need patterns. We need patterns to follow. We need a charge. And so, Manny, LB, you guys have done that for us today. Thank you so much for your pattern, for your example. And thank you so much for helping us land the plane on what has been a fun little experiment for me this year. We're just looking inside the second chair. I think we're going to keep it going. I think we're just going to keep studying and learning and growing. So thank you both to you. And hey, Leading Second, we love you all so much. It is an absolute honor to get to walk together in ministry. We are all in this together. If you're here and you made it this far in this episode, you have a heart to hold your pastor's arms up like we do. So you found your tribe, you found your home. We're so glad we get to do this together. Until next time, Leading Second, let's run strong for the kingdom and lead in an uncommon way together. God bless you guys. Thank you, LB. Thank you, Dr. Manny. We'll see y'all soon.
It is our honor to serve churches and leaders across the globe. We equip ministry leaders with the coaching, events, and resources needed to embrace their calling, get it right with their pastor, and lead in an uncommon way. Visit our website, leadingsecond.com, to learn how we can come alongside you as you lead from the middle, from the second chair, for the second chair.